Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, sports, pop culture, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis, and on social media, you know me as PD Beats. Outer Banks has just been released on Netflix, and the reception has been crazy, and it's an amazing show. We are speaking to a cast member of Outer Banks. He plays Barry. We are with Nick Cirillo. Nick, welcome to Popternative.
What's up? What's up? Hello.
Thank you for coming on the show, and congrats on the success of the show so far, man. It's been nuts to see. It's been good to see for you guys.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a treat, to say the least.
Now, I don't know, I'm sure maybe the quarantine has to do with it a little bit, but usually we're talking about it, you mentioned like a slow burn, like a show comes and like, you know, there's like the progression, right? You know what I mean? The show's out. This just kind of seems like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It started off at an exponential rate of viewership, I guess. So it's been like, I don't know, it's just been results from the get-go.
No, absolutely. So can you take us through kind of the reception from your family and friends? Like, what was that like?
You mean like how they received
the show? Like, they must be happy for you, but at the same time, you play quite a crazy character too.
My mom made me laugh when she watched it because she hit me up a couple days after it came out and was like, "All right, I finally finished it. You know, good job, even though you played like a low-end dirtbag drug dealer or something like that." And I was like, "All right, appreciate that, Mom." But yeah, I mean, they've been very supportive rather. It's been all love from my friends and my family, and it's just been nice, I guess. A little bit of extra attention.
No, absolutely. A lot of people are talking about different elements of the show that makes it very appealing and makes it popular. I mean, a lot of people talk about, you know, the storyline. A lot of people are talking about what it looks like. Like, the cinematography is amazing on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I really like about the show? The music.
Oh, I haven't been hearing enough people talk about that. That was one of the first things that stood out to me when I started.
Right? Isn't the soundtrack awesome?
Yeah. There's parts where it gets so intense. It's almost like The Dark Knight, like Hans Zimmer almost, you know, with that intense dissonance just growing. It's a beautiful, beautiful score.
But it has a lot of like nice upbeat rock too. I think that's the rock fan of me that likes it.
Oh, we're on two different, but I do get you now. I do. I like the music.
No, but like, no, the score, you're talking about the score more. The score is awesome.
Both of it was great. Yeah, because it creates that dichotomy because there's like the beachy vibe and you get that rock to it that I love as well, and then the score that I was speaking of.
So Nick, take us through kind of the preparation of playing Barry. I mean, you mentioned this is a low life, this is a drug dealer, this is not a very nice guy. How did you kind of had to prepare for that? And you also look a lot different as well too than people that watch the show.
Well, you know, I did what any good actor does, and I spent 4 months on the Outer Banks selling crack, and and I did my due diligence. You know what I mean? I got deep into character. That, you know, that little crack spot that they have, that's actually that's where I live. That's where I'm at right now. That's where we're coming live from. So I did. You know, it was you're a good actor. You said that in like you like people are gonna watch this interview and be like, "What?" And then you laugh at the end. But you're a good actor, man. Oh well, thanks. I guess, you know.
But did you have, like, speaking of that, though, the research aspect that interests me a little bit. Did you watch any shows or movies with drug dealers? Like,
I have some very close people to me that are actually from Outer Banks. So they gave me kind of a good mindset. And I've been to the Outer Banks. I'm from North Carolina, so I kind of know North Carolinians very well. And I know that type of people as well from experience. So, I mean, it's an extrapolation of personal things I've seen in my life and then people that I've pulled from other performances and things like that. So you try and get bits and pieces from everywhere, I guess.
I feel like every show you watch these days, you're probably gonna think about this now. Be like, you're right. But like, even like comedies, like there's always, even if it's just one episode, there's always a drug dealer involved. Have you noticed that?
There's a lot of drugs in America, I guess. So I guess somewhere along the line, somebody's on a drug, and somewhere along the line, they're buying it from a drug dealer. So might as well put them in the show along with everyone else.
And it's weird because like when we first meet your character, like Rafe kind of comes up to you and says he doesn't have, the money for you and everything. And like we see you and we don't really like see a lot of like the dark side and the intense, crazy side of Barry. We kind of see the like you're disappointed, but whatever, right? And then you kind of like in a joking way tell him like if you mess up, like I'm gonna get you basically, right?
Well, he's a businessman, right? So
yeah.
It's not good business off the front to be rude, but if you don't get him his money, then he's gotta do whatever he can at all costs to recoup his loss.
Now your hair is pretty long on the show.
Yeah, I got pretty long hair still.
You still have pretty long hair. The hat, the hat is okay. The hat was. I wasn't sure if that was just like for the role and then you cut it off after.
Oh no, I mean I've been thinking about cutting it off every day since, but at this point it's too late. I guess I'll just keep it.
Yeah. How has the quarantine been for you so far, Nick?
It's I guess I'm fortunate that it hasn't affected me as much as maybe or definitely as some other people. For me, it's just been mostly obviously staying at home, nothing to do as far as like with work with the acting industry. Everything's been shut down, so just self-quarantining, staying home with my girl and my doggies, and we're just trying to wait it out and keeping our fingers crossed that everything gets handled.
The life of an actor is a very interesting life. You could, shoot a couple of shows and movies and it can be like 5-6 months worth, you know what I mean? Or even a year worth. And then there could be like 7 months where you're not working at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's sometimes waves. I don't think people realize that sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's definitely it's not something that has any built-in security that a lot of other jobs may come with. So, I mean, I think it's something people kind of look over, how much time that actors. I feel like everyone thinks actors are just always. Once you're in one show, like you're always on set or something like that. But it's not like that.
Well, how many years have you officially been an actor for, Nick?
Officially, I guess since I was 18, I would say, yeah. So I'm 22 now, so about 4 years.
So I love how people are probably going to see you as another misconception too, Nick, is people are going to see you in Outer Banks, right, as Barry.
Yeah.
And they're going to think that was like he just started acting. Like they're not going to realize that you have 4 years and sometimes like down the road. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. To get in a Netflix show, you gotta put your work in, I guess. I don't think they're plucking anyone off the streets.
What was the audition process like for Barry? Like, how did you land Barry? You went in, you auditioned. Did you audition for another role? Like, because that sometimes happens too.
Yeah, so actually I never got to officially audition for Barry. I auditioned for several other parts. Just all, different parts throughout the series. Nothing they could, I could fit right for. And then they were just like, what do you think about this Barry guy? And they threw that to me, and I was very grateful for that. And so it was like the first time that I just kind of was given a character to explore and come up with my idea of. I mean, there's a description, of course, but so because you kind of look for that guidance to the audition process to formulate how the character is going to be, you get to bounce that back and forth. So that wasn't there really, but I was just grateful, I guess, that I didn't mess it up and that they ended up liking whatever it was I came up with.
No, absolutely. It's pretty crazy. A lot of people are binging a lot of things right now. Have you been watching a lot of shows? Or what are you watching right now?
Yeah. Well, I've watched obviously Outer Banks, watched Tiger King. I like to watch a lot of movies. I'm a bit of a movie buff, so I'm always watching different movies and things like that.
What movies have you watched? What do you have any Netflix like horror movies or thriller movies you'd recommend to me?
Well, I don't know if it's so. I just watched The Lighthouse, so that makes me want to say. Which
is it good?
Robert Eggers. Yeah. It's out there. So Robert Eggers made The Witch as well. That I know I watched on Netflix at some point. I don't know if it's still on there. Yeah.
There's some good. Are you a horror movie fan?
I am. Not really. A little bit. If it depends what it is. If it's a well done horror film. That if it's a Jordan Peele horror film, then of course.
Oh, man, I mean, people obviously talk about Get Out, but like for me, like I loved Us. Like Us is one of my favorite movies.
I mean, some of the shots in that were literally they could have just been framed.
Yeah.
Like what I think it's the shot that he has on the beach, and it's just above them with a crane shot, and you see the shadows, and it's so bright and colorful, and there's like a umbrella. It's such an unreal shot that could have literally just been a paint.
Are you into that too a little bit? The way you talked about, like, are you into like the filmmaking, cinematography aspect of things too?
Yeah. I mean, if it was a perfect world for me, I guess acting would be just one facet of the film.
Well, you could do it. Like, I don't think it ever stops you from doing like both. Like, you could do both filmmaking, being acting.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm looking to get me a good camera one of these days. Obviously, you can make anything on anything.
Man, I remember like my friends were so I'm from Canada. I'm from Montreal originally, and a lot of my friends who started big Hallmark movies now, and they're on like Lock and Key and Letterkenny on Hulu. But they did a movie called Happy Slapping, which was like the first film shot entirely on an iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
And you look back at it, and it looks like pretty good for like an iPhone back. Like, this was a long time ago. This was like 14, 15 years ago.
Wow. Well, I mean, you can get a lot done with what we have in our pockets these days. It's really true. We take it.
No, absolutely. People are like doing a lot of stuff, and maybe we could do what a lot of people are doing, Instagram Lives. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. I'm getting in with the Instagram game. I've been a bit of an old man.
Well, it's pretty crazy because, I don't know if you can keep up, but like, a lot of the cast members, like all your followings, on different, like different burns, like you said, like a slow burn, like it's different for some people, but you're all like the fan bases just keep going up and up.
Well, there's been an incredible overflow of fans for everyone, obviously, and just from the little nibble that I've gotten, it's been like, it's just to have anyone reach out and be like, hey, I liked you in this, or I saw you in this, I appreciate, that's obviously like unreal. You never really think that anyone's going to reach out and say they liked you in something. So anything like that, I greatly appreciate from anyone.
No, absolutely. Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining me on Popternative to chat for a little bit, man. I really appreciate it.
Brother. Appreciate you having me, for real.
No, of course. The show is it's awesome, man. There's so much cool stuff in it. And it's just we don't know about season 2 because season 1 came out not even a week ago. You know what I mean? So we gotta wait a little bit.
It's crazy. So many people are like, "Where's season 2?" It's like, yo, it's been 5 days. Like, give us a minute,
But like that's all. But as an actor on that show, that just puts a smile on your face, though, right? Like,
yeah, it does. I mean, the anticipation it gives us something.
But I think, let's see, because to use the word, phenomenon might be a bit premature, right? Like Stranger Things and stuff. But like, I feel like this is gonna have a good following for a while. Like, I could tell.
Yeah, well, it's off to an auspicious start, that's for sure. And
but like more than others, like I find, like it's up there. Like it's been like because maybe the quarantine, but it's just been like, you know what I mean?
I know it's kind of like a lucky match of all the right things that we needed.
And you know what? Netflix
an unfortunate time. You know what I mean?
But the thing too, it's like the Netflix put out the trailers here and there. You know what I mean? But like, and I knew about the show, right? And I knew I was gonna watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not more than that. Like, I wasn't like over It wasn't like, I think it was one of those things where people saw that it dropped on Netflix. They realized it was so good from even the first episode gets you in like right away.
Yeah.
Like the first 15 minutes, and that's very hard to do with a show. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, all that credit, just, you got to give that to the writers and Jonas and Shannon.
Well, I heard from Drew, who plays Rafe, that and I saw Chase did an interview about this, like the showrunners of the show,
Yeah.
like the way they dealt with everything and the way they like the relationships with everyone, like it was just like a big family, and it was a really awesome experience.
I think that, that I can 100% piggyback on that. Like, whatever semblance of a good performance that I could have racked up, 100%, like a lot of the credit goes to just the environment that they put on the set, because you can really throw people off, actors especially, when they don't feel the right environment. But the way that they set the setup, and everyone involved in the set, the crew behind and the cast as well, like a match made in heaven, just like a dream come true, really.
No, absolutely. Well, man, thank you so much again. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
I guess I'm on the Instas, they can get me on that. I'm Nick_V_Cirillo. My last name is spelled with a C. It is what it is.
Absolutely. Well, seriously, man, congrats so far with the success of Outer Banks, and I hope, and I have no doubt it will, but it's gonna just get better and better, man, for you. So I congratulations, man. That's all I can say right now. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You can watch Outer Banks now on Netflix. And until next time, this is Nick Cirillo and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.